How's it going, everyone? My name is Broken Pinky, your coach of the Houston Dracos, and welcome back to Week 7 of the ICPL, Season 11 here. We just came off of a great victory over Terry Mancake, coach of the Rose Tower Caparajas, and we've actually assured not only our spot in playoffs, but our seed. We are guaranteed to be the first seed in our conference, which is super duper nice. Conference of 7 teams, I should say, so that's really nice. So we are doing a bit of a victory lap here, I will say. Meanwhile, our opponent is going to be Eden or Dadareth. They go by either name. Coach of the Orlando Omanytes, with a 2-4 record, fighting to stay in playoffs. Pretty much, if I win this game, then Eden is knocked out of playoffs, and if I lose, then, or if he beats me, then he still has the chance. So let's take a look at this matchup. One thing I will readily notice immediately on the right side of the screen, those are all water types. We are facing a mono water draft here. But it's still pretty scary, honestly, all things considered, because it is backed up by Rain from that Pelipper. Let's talk about that right away. Pelipper is a phenomenal Pokemon here. Super duper, I mean, it's pretty bulky. It can hit over with like a Scarf or a Spec set. It has a lot of utility with Defog, Knockoff, and U-Turn, and it has a lot of longevity with Roost. So it can hold Damp Rock, it can keep Rain up, and this team in Rain is honestly really scary to fight. So let's just break it down one by one. Urshifu Rapid Strike hits like a truck. With Surging Strikes in the Rain, it just does insane damage. Close Combat's a good secondary stab as well. It has coverage at the wazoo, with stuff like Ice Spinner and Poison Jab, and then also has U-Turn for good pivoting. And they gave it Swords Dance for some reason. Why does it get Swords Dance? I don't know. But also Unseen Fist is going to boost, or is going to make it crit. It's going to make it hit through Protect, and it's going to make it crit its moves, which are both really annoying things. Walking Wake is kind of a demon in this week, honestly. Specs, Hydro Pumps in the Rain, just drown my entire team. Nothing can tank it. Like, this thing two-shots my whole team in Rain with Specs Hydro Pump. Even though you normally see it in Sun with Hydro Steam and the Photosynthesis, in Rain, it's still really scary. So we're going to have to watch out for that. Final plan against that. Rotom Wash is just a very good supportive pivot Pokemon. It's very nice glue. Has a nice little ground immunity. Only beats Grass-type moves. Its move pool is pretty solid with stuff like Will-O-Wisp and Volt Switch and Hydro Pump and Pain Split and stuff like that, but I don't know, Rotom Wash, I mean, it's always a solid Pokemon, but it's nothing, like, super outstanding, I would say. Basculegion is the first of the Swift Swimmers. Can also run Adaptability. Doesn't have great options for the Ghost type, at least with the male form, but it is both male and female Basculegion. So it can either run physical sets like Wave Crash and Aqua Jet, or it can run special sets like Hydro Pump and Shadow Wall. Either way, it's very scary in what it does. Empoleon got Roost this generation, and it's absolutely wild. I actually ended up drafting Empoleon, and I remember Eden being pretty sad about it, so when I dropped it, he was, in the Grace Period at least, he was super psyched. But Empoleon is very bulky. Water Steel is a great type combo. It does pretty well into most of my team. It's just super bulky. Competitive is a very annoying ability for stuff like my Latios that wants to be clicking Luster Purge a lot in this matchup. I guess a bit of a spoiler. But yeah, competitive is very annoying. It can be very scary pretty quickly, but it's just really bulky. Pelipper we already talked about, so next up, the first of the Terra Captains is going to be Barraskewda, which can translate into a Water, Fairy, or Fire type. Barraskewda is incredibly fast, the first Pokemon we've seen to match my Iron Bundle in speed, and quite literally does match it bar for bar. It's very hard from the physical side, with stuff like Liquidation, Close Combat, Flip Turn, Crunch, Psychic Fangs. It gets a lot of good coverage, and especially with Terra Blast Fairy, it's pretty hard. Terra Fire in the Rain is a little bit of anti-synergy, but this thing just hits really, really hard, so it can kind of do whatever it wants. Gastrodon is a very bulky Pokemon. It's a good Hazard Setter here. Doesn't have the best matchup, though, because a lot of my Pokemon hit it for quad effective. And when you're running Mono Water, you're going to expect to fight my Bramblegast and my Iron Bundle, which kind of hits your whole team for super effective. So Gastrodon, like, it's a good Mon, but its matchup in my team is not that great. But it's a good Hazard Setter. It also gets Recover, so it sticks around for a while. Gets Clear Smog for anti-setup, gets Toxic, I believe, and then from there it's just Surf, Earth Power, Ice Beam. Tentacruel, we fought it in week 1 versus Dean Maka, and now Dean dropped it, and now Eden has it, so does a lot of what it did back then. T-Spike Setter, Rapid Spinner, has a knockoff, has Scald, has Flip Turn. Just a generally solid utility mon. And last up is the Golduck, which can also use Swift Swim, as well as Terra, Water, Grass, or Ground being the types you can Terastallize into. And this thing can be kind of scary. I think it gets Nasty Plot now. I could be wrong, but it definitely gets Calm Mind. And in the Rain, that thing can hit pretty hard. It has swept a few teams So I hope that my name is not added to the list, because getting swept by a gold luck is a little bit embarrassing. But let's get right into it. Ball is life, here for the redemption arc. Bro missed a power whip versus Cherry, so I really want Ball is life to get at least 1 kill. That's the main goal of this game. Get my Brambleghast to have at least 1 kill, because everything else on my team already has a kill, except for this thing. So we're running a Grassy Terrain extender set with Rapid Spin, Power Whip, Grassy Terrain, and Grassy Glide. Obviously, grass type moves are super strong to my opponent. So boosting it in terrain is just super good. Grassy Glide just turns into a really strong stab move. While it's not as strong as, something like a Rillaboom, it still hits pretty hard, and it can be good for the late game. And pretty much nothing that's faster than Brambleghast wants to eat Grassy Glide other than the Walking Wake. And nothing slower than it wants to eat a Power Whip, and then Rapid Spin just to get rid of hazards. But I think Grassy Terrain is in general pretty good for me this week. It gives my team a lot of added longevity, and obviously boosts Brambleghast power. Next up, we are running a bit of a Demon Belly Bolt set. Sub, Toxic, Powerball, Charge, and Slack Off with Leftovers and Electromorphosis. This thing is incredibly bulky, and we're also going to be Terra Water. I debated having Terra Grass to the Gastrodon with Terra Blast, but Terra Water is just super nice for keeping me not weak to ice, not weak to flying, stuff like that. A Parabolic Charge is kind of like a weaker version, or a weaker electric type version of Giga Drain. So combining that with Sub Toxic just means, or Substitute and Slack Off means I can kind of become unkillable with this thing, bar setup. And Electromorphosis means that it actually hits for pretty solid damage. And then Toxic just gives you reliable means of doing damage, especially into stuff like the Gastrodon that you can't hit with Parabolic Charge. As well as the Wake, which can kind of shrug off a hit. And then Slack Off for reliable recovery. It is that simple. Next up, Iron Bundle with a Choppleberry to make it so it doesn't immediately fold to a close combat from either Urshifu or the Barraskewda, that's what it's called. Freeze Dry, Agility, Snowscape, and Flip Turn. Kind of a heat moveset here, but pretty much Agility lets me outspeed pretty much everything, and Snowscape lets me, put the weather in my favor, which are both really good things to have. Freeze Dry hits this entire team incredibly hard, other than the Empoleon. It's the only Pokemon that does not get hit super effective. And stuff like the Wake and the Gastrodon and the Urshifu just kind of drop to this thing. And then Flip Turn is just solid for momentum. So Mr. Celio Girl coming off the bench after a while, hoping to put in some good numbers. Next up, Yo a tu tias. After coming in huge a few weeks back, did nothing in the last game. So hopefully we get the redemption arc from Latios. We're running an E-Belt set with Thunder, Luster Purge, Draco Meteor, and Recover. This thing is really, really good into a lot of his walls because Thunder in range just hits incredibly hard, especially with that Expert Belt. Luster Purge does a lot of damage to Tentacruel, and it also helps me beat the Gastrodon 1v1 with special defense drops. And then Draco Meteor is just Draco Meteor from Latios. Like, it just hits hard. It destroys Walking Awake notably, which is the main target I wanted to hit. And then Recover gives me a good amount of longevity as well. So, I mean, it's Latios. It does what you expect. It does Latios things. Up next, fully specially defensive Clefable. We got Wish, Protect, Baton Pass, and Alluring Voice. I didn't want to run Moonlight because my opponent's gonna have Rain up for most turns, and if not, then I'm probably gonna have Snow up, and both of those cut into Moonlight. So we're running Wish Passing Clef here with Alluring Voice, just to hit behind any substitutes that my opponent might potentially bring, as well as to punish some setup while still hitting good damage numbers like 2-shotting Urshifu and 2-shotting Wake, and then fully special defensive because I have Belly Bolt for the physical defense. And then last up, we are running Endure, Explosion, Custab, Registeel, with Stealth Rock and Thunder Wave as well, which is kind of a heat. I'm kind of a heat set. I'm excited to see what it's gonna do. I thought of this very recently. Hold on. Yeah, I thought of this very late into team building. This was like a Choice Banded Lucario, but Choice Banded Lucario really does not hit that hard into my opponent's team. Like, I wanted to have like extreme speed to hit to like Revenge Walking Wake, and then I saw that it does like 35% to Walking Wake with Choice Band, and with Terra it's only like 50 or 60. It's crazy. Like, Lucario's a little bit weak sometimes. So I thought I can at least guarantee to get Para on it with Custap Thunder Wave, or I can get like a good 45% off of its health with Explosion. Stealth Rock is generally solid in this matchup, but this thing is mainly just here to spread paralysis with Thunder Wave, and then I can endure when I think I'm about to die and just explode. So that's the full squad. Again, winning would be nice. I'm not super duper aiming for it. I'm not super duper trying too hard. So that being said, let's hopefully get it all squared away, and we should get into the battle shortly. So I'll see you guys then. All right, an opposing trainer has been found. A battle against Eden is going to start. Let's take a look at the team that they brought. No Urshifu, no Wake. Thank God. We see Pelipper, Golduck, Gastrodon, the better form of Gastrodon, Empoleon, Barraskewda, and Tentacruel. Good luck, have fun, my friend. So, I think I'm just going to lead off with Latios, honestly. I don't really want to think about it too much. I could lead off with Brambleghast to get my terrain early, but I'm expecting lead Pelipper or lead Tentacruel, and Latios is phenomenally into both of those. So, we're just going to do it. I guess one thing that sucks about not bringing Wake is that Registeel is kind of useless, but then I can use it as a sack. I can use it to get off a quick Thunder Wave. I can use it to get off an Explosion. And rocks are definitely still solid in this game, even without the Walking Wake. So, good luck, have fun once again to my man Eden. Hopefully we get Brambleghast to get a kill. I really want Brambleghast to get a kill. It's the only member on my entire draft to not have a kill, and I want it to get one so bad, because that would be hilarious. But hopefully my man selects the rest of his team and we can get on with it. But yeah, this is, so yeah, let's see. No Urshifu, no Urshifu, Basculegion, Wake, or Rotom. So man just did not bring his top 4 Mons. Which, honestly, I don't think I've seen. I don't think I've ever seen someone only bring their bottom Pokemon, but I respect it. I respect it for sure. Let's just get into the game. Hopefully it's lead Pelipper, and if so, I'm just going to Thunder that guy. And if Gastrodon comes in, I click Luster Purge after. So, let's see. It's going to be Lochi. It's going to be the Gastrodon lead. Okay. So, kind of regretting not leading Brambleghast, to be honest. This thing's probably going to set hazards. I could just go for a Luster Purge right here. I kind of like that play. Let's just see what happens. Because I should be fine to just 1v1 this thing. And if we get the special defense drop, then that becomes very, very good for my Lottie. Alright. I mean, I'm guessing this is just going to be a standard hazards lead. Man, I could have just gone Brambleghast. That's crazy. So we get the Luster Purge off. Hopefully this gets the Spidef drop and we get some intel on the set. That's looking pretty specially bulky to me. Goes to the Ice Beam. Okay, that is looking offensive to me. Or just got a crit. Okay. So that looks especially defensive. That crit tracks. So I don't really have a switch into this thing, which kind of sucks. I could go bundle, honestly, and get off a little freeze dry. Freeze dry should kill. The problem is that bundle is kind of like super predictable. So I might just go for recover here. Just praying that, well, because then, this is kind of awkward. I think I'm just gonna go Registeel. This kind of sucks, honestly. This actually really sucks. Okay. So we're gonna go into Iron Guy. Hopefully we don't get frozen here. It says the spikes. Okay, that's kind of what I expected. So, Registeel. Explosion is about 45%. But I'm just gonna get my rocks up. I don't really have much reason not to. So we get rocks. This thing's probably gonna click Earth Power if I had to guess. Yeah, it clicks Earth Power. So I could try and keep this thing around, but I'm perfectly fine with just going Boom. Don't really need a reason to keep this thing alive, or I don't really have a reason to keep it alive. So I'm gonna go for the Explosion. And this covers him switching out. So yeah, it actually does switch out. So Registeel is going to click Explosion and probably go down. Let's see what comes in. Little Tulu. It's going to be the Tentacruel. Okay. So Registeel dies to Explosion. We see Spadef, Lefty's Gastro with Ice Beam and Earth Power. So we do some big damage to the Tentacruel, which is nice. It heals up with Black Sludge. We should be able to get the kill every time with Lottie. So I'm tempted to go into that. And I think I will, honestly, because Luster Purge is pretty free at this point. At this current point in time. And we see it's Black Sludge, so it's not Scarf. We hover over the spikes, which is nice, and we'll get off a little Luster Purge. If Empoleon comes in, that is going to be pretty scary. but I don't think you'd want to switch Empoleon into this thing, considering this thing has literally infinite coverage. Okay. So, Latios versus Tentacruel. Even the most especially defensive Tentacruel should die to Luster Purge from this range, because it's not by Yappa Berry. So Tentacruel's going to switch out. Hopefully it's the Gastrodon, because I should be able to kill it with Luster Purge into Draco. It's going to be King coming in. Probably the Empoleon. Yeah, so I think he's fishing for a Spidef drop. In that case. So we'll get off a Luster Purge. Yeah, that does nothing. That is absolutely Spidef Empoleon. And we don't get the drop, which is kind of lucky for us, to be honest. So Empoleon is in. I don't have great answers into Empoleon, honestly, but I'm going to go Belly Bolts. Just so I can get off my Terra early. This guy might just be hazard stacking me, which would be very annoying, to be honest. So, Small Beast hurt by spikes. Yeah, he's actually just hazard stacking me. Okay. Bro is being very annoying, so I'm going to have to Rapid Spin at some point post-haste. I don't think there's any world where you just leave this thing in on Belly Bolt, so I could just click Toxic. I think I'm actually just going to click Sub, though. I think Sub is the way better play, because that ensures I get a Toxic off the turn after. So we're going to Terrasilize, and we're going to Substitute. And we'll see what happens. I would imagine you just hard switch into Gastrodon, because again, staying in is not super worth it. If he does expect me to Terra Water, then I did kind of just expose myself to a Grass Knot, though, which I just now realized. If this dude clicks Grass Knot and just obliterates me, I would be very upset, to be completely honest with you. Okay, yeah. Clicking Terrasilize there was kind of a mistake, actually, now that I think about it. I want Tentacle to come in, or I want Pelipper to come in, that's what it's called. So, switches out, probably into the Gastrodon. Eutropio. What is that? That is the Pelipper. Okay, so finally Rain gets set. About time, honestly. So we're going to Terrasilize, and we're going to click Substitute. And we're going to click Parabolic Charge afterwards, because I don't have a reason not to. It could just be the Gastrodon coming in which case I click Toxic the turn after. So not much is going to be lost, and hopefully a lot's going to be gained. So we're going to click Sub. It's not Boots on the Pelipper, which means it's almost certainly Damp Rock. I don't think Pelipper stays in, but again, there's no reason for me not to click Parabolic Charge, so I'm going to click Parabolic Charge. Goes to the U-turn, which I expected. Probably the Gastrodon's going to come in. Sub takes damage, goes back to Eden. Sub stays intact, which is nice. And let us see. It's going to be the Empoleon, actually. Not surprising. So, Pointed Stones are going to dig into it, and we get the Parabolic Charge off. So, we're going to get some nice damage. Ooh! Nice damage. Was that a crit? That was a crit. Okay. That crit was pretty big. Sorry about that. But we get some nice health back, and we're already back at full HP. Which is really, really nice. And we're probably going to force the thing to burn a Roost as well. Yeah, burning a Roost off of Empoleon is not bad by any stretch. So there's 3 turns of rain, which means probably 6 turns of rain left. It does have the Grass Knot, so we were right in expecting that. So our sub is going to stay up. Now, the question is, do we live a Grass Knot afterwards? Because this doesn't kill, unless we get another crit. Yeah, so Belly Bolts versus Empoleon. Grass Knot. That thing. Terra Water. So Grass Knot only does about 50% if they're uninvested. If it's max special attack, then it does a little bit more. But I'm just going to go for another Parabolic Charge. It does go for the Roost, which makes sense. So, honestly, going to Lottie might have been the better play. This Empoleon's going to be an issue, isn't it? Yeah, this Empoleon's going to be a big problem. Let's see. Grass Knot is going to trigger our Electromorphosis, which is good to note. So it's going to do extra damage. Oh my god, that is a lot. Wow. Gets another crit. So many crits this battle. Wow. So Stealth Rock, Grass Knot, and Roost have been shown on the Empoleon. We got the kill. Nice. So Belly Bolt kills Empoleon with Parabolic Charge. So getting rid of Empoleon is good. Getting crit by the Grass Knot is very, very, very bad. Like, unbelievably bad. So, hopefully something passive is going to come in. I don't want something, like, super offensive to come in right now. So, it's going to be the Penelope. Or Penelope, sorry. It's going to be the Golduck. This might just be trying to Terrastallize, honestly. I'm going to go Hard Clef. Just because that makes sense. Yeah, let's go Hard Clef. I'm really struggling to spin this game, which is a problem. Considering my man is hazard stacking. I gotta find a way to get Brambleghast in. I think next time Pelipper comes in, I'm just gonna go hard Brambleghast. Because I am gonna be immune to the Hurricane. And it's not gonna be Scarf. Just based on how long this rain is lasting, it's almost certainly Damp Rock. And then I got it for Rapid Spin. And Rapid Spin is really good for me in that scenario. So, let's see what this Golduck wants to do. I'm assuming, I mean, if you bring it in now, it's probably going to Terrastallize. So yeah, I'm H-Box, bitch. Let's go, Clefable. Finally bring Magic Guard. It's going to go for another Grass Knot. Okay. You demon. And it's Life Orb. Okay. Grass Knot with Life Orb. So, I think at this point in time, I just want to go for an Alluring Voice. I could go Expected Tentacruel to come in. So, yeah, it's going to be Terrastallize here and now. Terra Water could actually be very problematic. It is Terra Water. Okay. Hopefully, I just don't just drop to this Hydro Pump. If I do, that would be really, really bad. It goes for Terra Blast instead of Surf. Okay. Sure. That does too much damage. That does too much damage. Entirely too much damage. I'm going to be honest. Okay. Golduck's a big problem now that I'm realizing it. Let's see. So this is the last turn of rain. I'm gonna go for a Protect. Golduck is a big problem. So, Clefable versus Golduck. It's Life Orb, probably Modest. Terra Blast, Terra Water. So, it does so it should always kill me with another Terra Blast here. Which is not good. I'm going to go hard Brambleghast like I said I would. If he reads it with an Ice Beam, that'd be insane. But he's not been making that kind of plays this game. So, he switches out as well. Hopefully into, like, Pelipper or something. Little Tulu, I think that's the Pelipper. Or it's the Tentacruel. Okay. So, he takes some hazard damage. I'm going to go Brambleghast, and I'm just going to click Rapid Spin. I don't care. I did say I wanted to get a kill at all costs, but not that badly. Hopefully, I mean, I think this thing is a bulky Tentacruel. So, hopefully this doesn't just bite me in the ass. Because I don't think he would want to sack your Tentacruel. I'm going to go for a Rapid Spin. Please, Brambleghast, hold on if this is like offensive Tentacruel, because if not, we're in terrible danger. We might just lose the game if this is... Okay, we're faster, thank goodness. And we get off the Rapid Spin. Tentacruel does live, but that's fine. So Spikes are gone, Pointed Stones are gone. Thank goodness. And it goes for the Hex. We should live that pretty easily. Yeah, okay. So... Brambleghast... versus a Tentacruel. So, I'm down to go for another Rapid Spin, honestly, because that would make me faster. Should do 20% minutes, yeah. It should always kill here. So, we'll go for another Rapid Spin. Please get the kill! Let's go! Brambleghast gets the kill! My goat! Brambleghast kills Tentacruel with Rapid Spin. So, hazards are gone for now, which is good. And we're +2 speed. If Pelipper comes in, I'm just going to wipe it with Power Up, I think. Don't really have a reason to set up grassy terrain right now because my man is way too low. But I'm just proud that Bramblegast finally got a kill after 5 weeks of being on the bench. Shows up week 6 to miss a power whip and shows up week 7 to hit him big. Pelipper comes in. Drizzle's going to get set. I'm going to go for the power whip. If he hurricanes, that'd be hilarious. But I'm a power whip. We connect the power whip this time. We don't get the kill on Pelipper, which is fine. Goes to the U-turn. We do live on 35. So let's see what comes in. Huh. Man, I was hoping to get the Wind Rider boost. That'd be so funny. I guess Tailwind would have been kind of heat for that. It's gonna be Blackbeard, which means it is going to be that yeah, the Barraskewda. So we know this thing can't terrestrialize at least. This is definitely Swift Swim. I think Bellybolt should be able to live a hit from that range. Bellybolt versus Barraskewda. Yeah, if I'm Terra Water, I definitely live a hit. Definitely live a close combat. So my play here is pretty clear. I click Power Whip, no matter what. I could Grassy Glide actually, and that should get the kill. So I'm a Grassy Glide just so I don't miss. It goes with the Ice Fang, so it's gonna get the kill. So Barraskewda kills Bramblegast with Ice Fang, and it's Life Orb. Okay, it's Life Orb, not Choice Band. So let's see, Bellybolt tanks Life Orb close combats. Let's look at Iron Bundle. It actually lives at close combats. What's left? Gastro, Tentacool. I'm gonna use it now, honestly. Why not? Why not? Give me a reason not to. I'm gonna go Mr. Steelio Girl. Right? Because everything should die to Freeze Dry at this point. I don't really need bulk on this thing because I live at close combat. Goes for close combat. Here's our Choppleberry. We should always live this. Let's go. And that should get the kill. So, what's it called? Iron Bundle kills Barraskewda with Freeze Dry. Although, ooh, wait, now that I think about it, that was kind of a throw. Wait, because now Golduck comes in. I'm going to have to stall out Life Orb for sure. Penelope comes in, that's the Golduck. Okay. I am for sure going to have to stall out Life Orb turns. So, the last 3 is Pelipper, Gastrodon, and Golduck. So this thing, Pelipper and Gastrodon. I'm going to have to sack something to this Golduck. So, this thing beats both. So, I'm going to sack, I think, Lottie. Well, I'm going to sack Bellybolt, I think. It makes the most sense. It's probably going to click Grass Knot here, so this might be a bit of a throw. But I'm going to go Clefable, try and stall at the last rain turn. This is really, really hard. Goes to the Power Gem. We might actually live this. We do. Okay, that's good. We charge up our Electromorphosis. There's a world where we lose. There's a pretty good world that we lose this, honestly. I'm gonna go for a Slack Off. Well, no, this thing should die to rocks. This thing actually dies to rocks every time. So I'm gonna Slack Off. Just in case. Goes to the Grass Knot, so Golduck kills Bellybolt with Grass Knot. And does it just die to Life Orb? It might. So this would be a double blind in that case. And Golduck, yeah, dies to Life Orb. So I think at this point of the game, Iron Bundle should get the last 2 kills. So we're going to go Mr. Steel Girl. That was a close game. If it's really over, that was a really close game. Eutropio comes out. That should be the Pelipper, right? Yeah. So Pelipper dies to Stealth Rock. So Registeel kills Pelipper with Stealth Rocks. So now all that's left is the Gastrodon. And we should have the kill with our Iron Bundle. So we just have to click Freeze Dry. We just have to not sell. It's not Yachi Berry. So yeah, Lochi comes in. First one out is going to be the last one out. And we're going to go for a nice little freeze dry here. And that should be the game. Locked up in our favor, 3-0. Man, that was scary. That Golduck was very scary. I'm very lucky to see that it was a Life Orb. So GG's to Dadarith, or GG's to Eden. You had one heck of a season. Sucks to see it end this early, but Iron Bundle is going to get the kill on the Gastrodon with Freeze Dry. Our undefeated streak stays alive throughout the season. We just have 1 week to go, and we're going to take that nice 3-0 victory over the Orlando Omanytes. So, GG's again to Eden. That was a scary game. That was one tense game for sure. I definitely, made a lot of misplays through there. But we were able to seal it up at the end thanks to some nice Registeel Hazard Clutch. So, thank you guys so much for watching this week of the ICPL. See you guys next time.